Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into something most of us encounter pretty regularly, the global processed chicken market.
Yeah, everything from, ready meals, nuggets, deli slices,
Yeah,
the convenience stuff.
exactly. And our mission today is really to unpack the numbers, look at what's happening region by region, and understand just how big this industry actually is.
Hmm.
We're drawing heavily on insights from cognitive market research for this one.
Good source.
And you might think, okay, chicken, I get it. But wait until you see the growth projections here. It's pretty staggering.
It really is.
Okay, let's unpack this. So
Okay.
to start, let's just get a sense of the scale globally.
Right.
In 2021, this market was already pulling in about $2.65 billion.
$2.65 billion, yeah. Already massive.
Massive, and it's not stopping. Projections put it near $3.5 billion by 2025.
Okay.
And then get this, it's expected to hit almost $6 billion by 2033.
Wow. Nearly $6 billion.
That reflects a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of nearly 7% globally.
And that CAGR, nearly 7%. That's key, isn't it?
Yeah.
It shows sustained growth.
Exactly.
It's not just a blip. We're talking about the market more than doubling in, just over a decade?
Pretty much.
That points to some, fundamental shifts in how people are eating globally.
Sure.
Protein consumption, convenience.
Absolutely. That global picture is strong. But, the really fascinating stuff often lies in the regional differences.
Always does. Where's the growth really taking off?
Okay, let's start with North America, a big established market.
Sure.
They were close to $1 billion back in 2021. $995 million, roughly.
Right.
That's set to grow to about $1.3 billion in 2025, and the forecast hits over $2.1 billion by 2033.
Okay, so still very solid growth. What's the CAGR there?
Around 6.5%. Steady.
Steady is the word.
And within North America, no surprise, the U.S. is dominant. It goes from about $810 million in 21 to over $1.7 billion projected for 33.
Wow. Doubling even within the dominant market.
Yeah, that's a CAGR of about 6.4%. Canada's actually growing a bit faster, over 7% CAGR.
Oh, interesting.
And Mexico's strong too, nearly 6.8% growth annually.
So even in these, mature markets, the demand for convenience keeps pushing things forward.
It really seems so. It's not just new adoption, it's deeper reliance, maybe.
Could be. More busy lifestyles, maybe more single-person households. Lots of factors.
Right. Okay, so that's North America. Let's hop across the Atlantic to Europe. They clocked in around $786 million in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Also on track to more than double, projected over $1.7 billion by 2033. The growth rate there is about 6.7% CAGR, pretty similar to North America overall.
Okay, solid again. Any standouts within Europe?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Germany is showing particularly fast growth. Their CAGR is projected over 7.3%.
Oh, higher than the regional average. That is interesting. What might be behind that?
Could be catching up on convenience trends or maybe specific retail pushes. Hard to say from just the number, but it's notable.
It is, and it contrasts with somewhere like Russia, right?
Exactly. Russia's growth is much more modest, projected around 4.8% CAGR. Starts at about 35 million in 21, grows to maybe 62 million by 33.
Big difference.
Okay.
Suggests different market conditions, maybe different dietary traditions still holding stronger.
Very possibly. And you see other major European players, the UK, France, Italy, Spain, they're mostly in that, 6 to 7% growth range. UK and Spain slightly higher, France and Italy slightly lower, but generally consistent.
Okay, so Europe's a mix, but generally strong growth, led by Germany in terms of pace.
Right. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Asia Pacific.
Ah, yes.
The growth engine.
Totally. It started at just over $500 million in 2021, about $526 million.
Okay.
Projected to hit over $1.26 billion by 2033. And the CAGR, the highest regional rate globally, nearly 7.8%.
7.8% across that massive region.
Wow.
That signals some powerful underlying trends.
For sure. What do you think is driving that?
Well, you've got rapidly growing economies, huge populations, increasing urbanization, people moving to cities, working more, less time to cook, and rising middle classes with more disposable income.
Exactly. Plus, the expansion of modern supermarkets and cold chain logistics makes these products more available than ever before. It's a convergence.
Makes sense. And within Asia Pacific, China is, a powerhouse.
Mhm.
About 173 million in 21, projected over 424 million by 33. That's an 8% CAGR.
Huge numbers.
Oh, wait, India is growing even faster.
Hmm.
It actually leads the region with a staggering CAGR over 8.6%.
8.6%. That's phenomenal growth.
Yeah, from about 78 million to over 204 million projected.
Incredible trajectory there.
And you also see really strong numbers from Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Southeast Asia as a whole, mostly over 7%, some, like Singapore and Southeast Asia, even topping 8%.
So Asia Pacific is just booming across the board in this sector.
Pretty much seems that way. Okay, let's swing over to South America.
Right. How do they compare?
Remarkably similar growth rate to Asia Pacific, actually. Also nearly 7.8% CAGR.
Really? Matching Asia Pacific, that's significant.
Yeah. Started around 194 million in 21, forecasted to hit almost 470 million by 2033.
Another region more than doubling its market size.
Exactly. Brazil is the leader there in terms of market size, growing at over 7.7% annually.
Okay.
But check out Argentina. Its CIGR is particularly high for the region, over 8.3%.
Wow. Another country over 8%.
Mhm.
It really shows this demand for convenient protein isn't confined to one area. It's a widespread global trend, especially in developing economies.
Absolutely. Now, shifting gears slightly, the Middle East.
Okay.
Growth here is a bit more modest compared to Asia-Pac or South America. Still solid, but around 5.6% CAGR.
Okay, so slower pace.
Yeah. Posted about 115 million in 21, projected to reach over 228 million by 33. Countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE are key markets there, growing between 5.6 and 6.1%.
Still respectable growth, but definitely a different dynamic than the nearly 8% we saw elsewhere.
Right. And that brings us finally to Africa.
Africa.
Hmm.
Okay, save the potentially most dramatic for last.
You could say that. The market was relatively small in 2021, just over $32 million.
Right, starting from a lower base.
But it's projected to skyrocket to over 113 million by 2033. And the CAGR, it's unprecedented, 10.8%,
10.8%.
making it the fastest growing region globally by a significant margin.
Wow. Okay, 10.8% average annual growth. That is truly remarkable. It just blows the other regions away in terms of pace.
It really does.
What do you think is happening there? Is it just explosive economic growth translating into food habits, better infrastructure, finally making processed foods viable?
Well, the source points to those general drivers we mentioned, rising demand, convenience, and protein consumption. But seeing it translate into an almost 11% CAGR, it's huge.
It really is. Any specific country standouts?
Oh, yeah. South Africa. Its CAGR is projected at 11.4%, the highest single country rate we've seen in this whole data set.
Over 11%. Incredible.
It goes from about $14 million in 21 to over $52 million projected by 33.
That's almost quadrupling the market size.
Exactly. And Nigeria is not far behind, also showing very strong growth, just over 11% PCOR projected as well.
So Africa, while starting smaller, is really set to become a major growth story in this space. Fascinating.
Absolutely. So, okay, we've crunched a lot of numbers, toured the globe. What does this all mean? What are the big takeaways for you?
Well, first, just the sheer robustness of the global market expansion. This isn't niche. It's mainstream and growing fast everywhere.
Right.
Second, the striking regional differences in pace. North America and Europe are solid, but Asia, Pacific, South America, and especially Africa are the real engines now.
The growth hotspots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And third, those core drivers seem universal. People wanting convenience, needing protein, and having increasingly the means to buy these processed options.
Yeah, it really paints a picture of global food habits shifting, doesn't it? Toward convenience, towards readily available protein, driven by busy lives, urbanization.
And developing economies catching up or even leapfrogging in adopting these modern food solutions. And it shows how interconnected everything is.
Definitely. What an incredible story unfolding in the processed chicken market. From, over 2.5 billion now to nearly 6 billion projected. It's a huge shift.
It really is. And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, this raises a really important question for you, the listener, to ponder. As this demand just keeps accelerating globally, what are the bigger ripple effects?
You mean on food systems, sustainability?
Exactly. What broader societal, economic, even environmental shifts might we see? And crucially, what kind of innovations will need to emerge to meet this huge, growing demand responsibly?
That's a fantastic thought to leave everyone with. A lot to chew on there, no pun intended.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. Keep exploring the fascinating world of global markets.